G'day brewers, Hendo here from the Rockstar Brewer Academy. In this video, I'm going to show you how to harvest yeast from one of your fermentation vessels and store it in a yeast brink. Let's take a look. So here I am in the Beer30 dashboard, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the yeast module. Now, first thing it's going to show you is your yeast inventory. Now, in my brewery, I don't have any yeast in inventory just yet, but I do have 3 brinks. I've got YB01, YB02, and YB03. 3 yeast brinks in this brewery, and perhaps maybe what I want to do is I want to go and add another yeast brink. So I'm going to add YB04 as a yeast brink, and it's going to ask me how many gallons. I'm just going to make it a 100-gallon yeast brink. To find the new yeast brink, and as you can see, very quickly, YB04 with a max capacity of 100 gallons is now online. Okay, so if I go back to the dashboard and I'll take a look at my tank farm here, and I can see FE82 has Malaysian IPA, batch 220929, and it's in ferment mode. And this is the tank that I want to harvest, okay? So let's go back to the yeast module. Let's click Actions and then click Harvest Yeast. Now, I'm going to pick my batch of Malaysian IPA. There it is in FE82. And what it's telling me is that this has WLP 001 yeast strain in, and it's had 1 barrel pitched in. And also I can see the last cell count, the generation, and the viability, and where the yeast came from. Now, I've done a separate video about yeast genealogy mapping and that sort of thing, a little bit outside the scope of this video, but what we're going to do is we're going to harvest this and ultimately make generation 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to harvest 50 gallons, and the new generation is going to be generation 7, and I'm going to put that into my YB04. Let's get a cell count. So I've got, say, 750,000 million cells per milliliter. The viability is 0.9682. Good enough. The lot number, which I'm not going to worry about for now, and I'm going to harvest the yeast. So I'm taking 50 gallons out. Hit save. And now, as you can see in my yeast inventory in yeast brink 4, I've got my WLP 001. Now, the really important thing is that even though I've harvested 50 gallons of yeast from Malaysian IPA, as you can see, my volume in this tank has been deducted by 50 gallons. So this comes into play with calculating brew filter pack volumes and that sort of thing. So clearly yeast is not products, therefore we don't want it to affect our yield, but it does keep the volume in the tank up to date. So back into the yeast module. And so what I've done here is you can see that my inventory now contains yeast brink 04 with 50 gallons of WLP 001. And what I can do is I can repitch that later in the brew module under the knockout section. So as you can see, it's super simple to create a yeast brink and also to harvest yeast in Beer30, and also keeping your volumes in your tanks up to date at all times. It really is a doddle, and if you're not repitching yeast, then this makes it absolutely easy to do it and to track all of the quality metrics around that. If you want to know more about how Beer30 can help you manage your yeast and keep your costs under control, brew more and brew better beer, leave a comment below and one of the Beer30 team will reach out to you and arrange a demo. Thanks heaps for watching this Tech Tip Tuesday video. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.